manager, Red Shane Dietz, Leo Smith, and the umpires breaking up now, and we're just about ready for things to get started. The Cardinals are breaking out of their dugout. And they lead in this series 1-0 over the American League champion, Detroit Tigers. Well, Mr. Reese, an old pal of yours, throwing out that first ball today.
Yes, I was watched him down there before the game. I think, knowing Medvedev the way I know him, he probably warmed up before he threw the first ball out, Ernie, because he wanted to make sure he had something on the ball.
Well, the weather, Pee-wee, a lot different than it was yesterday. A little bit on the cooler side, and the clouds have blown away, though. It looked like we've got a pretty good day.
Well, when I first came out here this morning, I got out here a little bit early. I know one thing, this raincoat felt real good. But right now, the sun is out. It's like a beautiful day for a ball game.
Well, the umpires, it'll be Jim Honachik, back of the plate, representing the American League. Stan Landis will be stationed at first base, representing the National League. From the American League at second base, Bill Kenneman. And the third base umpire will be Doug Harvey from the National League. Down the line in left will be Bill Haller from the American League. And down the line in right will be Tom Gorman, of the National League umpire, who yesterday worked behind the plate. Nelson Briles taking his final tune-up tosses now. He won 19 and lost 11. This current season in the National League. He has one victory in the World Series. In the 67 series, he beat the Boston Red Sox 5-2 and pitched a complete game. That was the third game of last year's World Series. The Cardinals one up on the Tigers, and Dick McCullough, the left-hand batting second baseman, stepping in to face right-hander Nelson Briles. Briles, a 25-year-old right-hander from Carmichael, California, attended Santa Clara and Chico State College, signed with the Cardinals for a bonus of $50,000. Well, this is his third World Series for Nelson Briles. McAuliffe leaning in. We're waiting on the first pitch of game number 2. The windup, the pitch on the way. It's a ball low, breaking pitch. McCarver behind the bat. Shannon at third. Maxville at second. At short, Javier at second. Zepeda at first base. Brock, Flood, and Davis in the outfield for the Cardinals. It's a fastball, low and in close, 2-0 on McCullough. Briles peering in to get his sign. And the pitch on the way, swung on the bounding ball to Zepeda. You make the play unassisted, 1 out. Well, here's Mickey Stanley, the shortstop who had 2 hits yesterday. That should relax him a little bit, Pee-wee.
I would think so. Mickey looked real sharp on a couple of ground balls yesterday. It looked like he was a little confused a couple of times exactly where to go on a ball hit to the outfield. I was impressed the way he could play.
Stanley being played a little bit to left by the Cardinal outfielders. The infield is back. 1 out and nobody on. We're just underway in St. Louis. Here's a strike. Fastball outside corner. Bright and sunny now, a lot cooler than yesterday. Low and in the dirt. 1-1, the count on Mickey Stanley. Shannon behind the bag at third on Stanley. Stanley stands very much up in the batter's box. Here's a pitch. It's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out and nobody on. No score, just underway. Tony Cuccinello, the third base coach for the Tigers. Wally Moses, first base coach. Briles winds and pitches. Here's a fly ball to right field. Ron Davis is under it and makes the catch for the out. 2 up and 2 out, and here's Al Kaline. 16th year as a Tiger for Kaline. Yesterday had one hit against Gibson. It was a double. Now the Cardinals are moving their outfield deeper and around toward left, the infield way back. Outside, low and away. Browse takes a lot more time than Gibson, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. I guess everyone does.
No score, first inning. Curve across. 1-1. Changed up on his curve and got it over. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike. That was a fastball at her high. Kaline digging in now, waiting on a 1-2 pitch from Nelson Briles. Scoreless first inning. Here's a foul ball. It'll be out of play. He curved him. Back into the lower deck here at this big, beautiful ballpark. 1-2. That's the count on Kaline. Briles checking his sign. 2 down and nobody on. Here's the pitch. Swing, a bounding ball to short. Maxwell has it. Throw to Cepeda. He's out. And it's Detroit nothing. The Cardinals coming to bat at the end of a half inning. Well, speaking of home runs, here's a man who hit one yesterday. Lou Brock. He had one hit in 4 trips. Left-hand batting outfielder against the Tiger left-hander Mickey Lolich. Lolich won 17 games in the American League season. No score. The Cardinals are batting in the first inning. Wirt laying in close at the inner grass at third base. And the pitch on the way. He swings and misses. Lolich is a good strikeout pitcher. A couple of years ago, he finished second to Sam McDowell of the Cleveland Indians in strikeouts. Young man used to be the clubhouse boy for the Portland Ball Club. Now the windup by Lolich and the pitch. Strike. There's a fastball inside corner. This is the 6th year of the Tigers for Lolich. Outfield is straight away on the leadoff man Lou Brock. Game scoreless first inning. There's a foul ball hit late down past third base. Joe Schultz, the coach there. Dick Sisler, the first base coach for the world champion Cardinals. Here's the strike 2 pitch coming up now to Brock. It's a strike call. Struck him out. He took a curve on the outside corner. Julian Javier coming to bat now. He had one hit in 3 trips in the opening game of the World Series. Tigers went down 1-2-3 before Nelson Briles. Now the Cardinals are batting with 1 out in the first inning. Outfield is straight up and the infield is back in normal depth on Javier. There's a very wide one, got by Freehand, goes all the way to the screen. Bright and sunny, but a lot cooler than yesterday. Teams do not play tomorrow. They'll resume action in Detroit on Saturday. Now the windup by Lolich, the pitch. He swings a bounding ball over the head of Wirt down into left field. Single. Javier on first base with a 1-out single here in the first inning. And the batter now will be Curt Flood, the right-hand batting center fielder. shoelace has to be tied over at first base by Javier. So time call for the moment. Flood had a single his last time at bat in the game yesterday in the 7th inning and ended up with 1 hit in 4 trips. No score. We're in the last half of the first. The Cardinals at bat. They've got a man on and a man out. And the infield for the Tigers is up in double play depth. Wirt laying in close at third base. The outfield straight away. Set by left-hander Lolich. The pitch is on the way. He takes the ball in close. Cash holding on the bag with the runner Javier. And the runner edges off slightly. Here's the set by Lolich. The pitch is taken for a ball, 2-0.
Ernie, we've talked so much about the Cardinals' speed. Just to give you a comparison, the Cardinals have stolen 110 bases and have been thrown out 44 times. The Detroit Ball Club, they have stolen 26 bases and have been thrown out 38 times.
Well, that is quite a contrast. Here's the pitch. It's a ball outside, the fastball. 3-0, the count on Flood. Lolich not quite agreeing with plate umpire Honachek on that one. Now Lolich goes to the set position, checks his runner, delivers. It's a ball high, and the Cardinals have 2 men on and 1 man out in the scoreless tie in the first inning. Flood walks. Javier goes to second. And the hard-hitting first baseman Orlando Cepeda steps up for St. Louis. Cepeda went no hits in 4 trips in the opener yesterday. The Tigers are out quickly, 1-2-3 against Browns, but the Cardinals are threatening right here in the opening inning. 2 men on. They're at second and first. 1 man out. Cepeda the batter. The game scoreless. The stretch by Lolich and the pitch. It's a high one for ball. Ball 1 on Orlando Cepeda. Well, it was a couple of walks that started the undoing of Denny McClain yesterday. Lolich has walked the man following a single. And the first pitch to Cepeda very wide. The left-hander stretches, delivers. Cepeda takes a strike, a breaking ball. 1-1, the count on him. Cash wide of the bag now, playing behind the run of Flood. Javier leading down off second base. Orlando Cepeda waits on a 1-1 delivery from Lolich. Here it comes. He swings, fly ball, hit the right field near the line. Maybe foul and maybe out of play. Here comes Kaline over, makes the catch on the run. A beauty. The runners tag up but don't go. Fine catch by Kaline in foul territory. Went deep in the corner, crossed the line over near the stands, just short of the 330-foot marker, and made a catch short of the barrier, and then turned and was ready to throw in case the runners had ideas of advancing.
It's kind of surprising that Javier did not tag up. He must have known the ball was going to be foul, but he was off the bag when he saw that Kaline was going to catch a ball. He couldn't get back to the bag and tag up to go to third on it.
So now the Cardinals have 2 men on and 2 men out. The game is scoreless in the first inning, and Mike Shannon, who had 2 hits yesterday, drove in the first Cardinal run. Here's the batter against Mickey Lolich. Fine touch batting third baseman for St. Louis, Shannon. He takes a strike. letter high inside corner. Stanley has moved over to his right toward the hole at shortstop. Wirt playing a deep third. Now the stretch by the Tiger left-hander Lolich. 2 men on and 2 men out. Here it comes. He swings and misses. Sort of a sweeping cut at that pitch. Strike 2, the count. Here's a man, Pee Wee, who made the conversion from outfield to infield very well.
Well, I talked to him about it today. I said, Mike, you feel a little bit better about coming into this series this year playing 30 as you did last year? He said, no, not really. He said, last year they didn't expect me to catch the ball, but this year they do.
Here's a strike 2 pitch coming up to him. He swings as a drive to right field. Kaline racing over is there. Reaches up and makes the catch for the out. And the score at the end of 1 inning, Detroit nothing, St. Louis nothing.
Going in the top half of the second inning. And Busch steadied him. No score in this ball game. Norm Cash would be the first hitter for the Detroit Tigers. Mickey Lolich looked like he may get in a little trouble there after Javier. He struck out Brock to start the inning off, and Javier got a base hit, then he walked Flood. Looked like he may be getting a little wild, but he retired Cepeda and Shannon to Al Kaline in right field. Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Pee Wee. And Norman Cash, the Texan, steps in now to face Mr. Briles. The game is scoreless. Well, the Tigers are batting in the second. Cash went 0 for 3 yesterday. He pops the first pitch into foul territory. Shannon, the third baseman, is under it. Makes the catch for the out. Next Tiger batter will be left fielder Willie Horton, who failed to hit in 4 trips yesterday. Briles is in his 4th year with the Cardinals. He had only 1 year in the minor leagues. That was at Tulsa back in '64. Willie Horton came up through the Tiger farm system after being a terrific Sandlot star in Detroit. No score, second inning. The Tigers at bat. They've not had a runner yet. The first 4 Tigers have gone down in succession. Swing, there's a long belt to left center field deep. Maybe gone. It is a home run for Willie Horton. 1-0 Detroit. Puts the Tigers into a 1-0 lead with a blast in the seats in left center field. And the Tigers get on the board for the first time in the series. Here's Jim Northrup coming to bat against Nelson Briles. 1-0 Detroit, second inning. There's a curve across. Northrup failed to hit in 3 trips in the game yesterday against Gibson. Delivers. It's a ball in close, spinning him back. 1-1 the count on Jim Northrup. Tigers ahead, 1-0 in the second inning. Here's a pitch. High and outside. Mr. Horton saw to put the wood to that one, didn't he, Pee Wee?
You better believe he did. And this could be, Ernie, just what this Detroit ball club needs to kind of break them loose. They've got this run in now, and you may see a different ball club.
Here's a pitch to Northrup. He swings, and there's a fly ball into short left center. Drifting back is Maxwell, the shortstop, makes a catch. And there are 2 down. Next batter, Bill Freehan, who failed to hit in 2 turns in the game yesterday. Detroit leads 1-0 on Horton's home run here in the second inning. Outfield is deep to left on Freehan. He takes a curve. It's outside. Ball 1. Detroit 1, Cardinals nothing in the second. 2 out, none on. Freehan looks at a curve across. Mr. Hunachek checking that ball and putting it out of play. Shannon is very deep at third base. All the infielders are back now on freehand with 2 out, nobody on. And he waits on Briles' 1-1 delivery to him. High and close. 2-1. You'll find in the American League that the pitchers like to jam freehand. He stands right on top of the plate. And he's very often hit by pitches. In fact, he broke the American League record this past season. There's a foul ball out of play. Two, the count on Bill. Sort of like that catching's not tough enough. You got to get hit all the time when you're up there. Briles taking a little more time now before this 2-2 pitch. Here it is. It's a strike. Got the outside corner, struck him out, and at the end of an inning and a half, Detroit 1, St. Louis nothing. Well, the Tigers have a 1-0 lead over the St. Louis Cardinals now, with the world champion Cardinals coming to bat in the second inning. And the young man from Memphis, Tennessee, Tim McCarver, will lead off. He'll be followed by the right fielder, Ron Davis, and then the shortstop, Dal Maxwell. McCarver with 1 hit yesterday, a 3-bagger. Left-handers don't bother him too much, do they, Pee-wee?
No, they don't. He seems to hit left-handers a little bit better than he does right-handers, really.
Mickey Lolich, the Tiger left-hander, goes to work now on McCarver. The pitch, he bunts the ball. It's out in front of the plate about halfway to the mound. Picked up by Freehand. Throw to first, gets him. Took a quick play by Freehand to nip him at first base. It's almost like a Texas League between the plate and the mound.
Yes, it was, and you got a chance to see the 2 real fine catchers in baseball today. Freehand coming out from behind that plate, and you got a chance to see Tim McCarver's speed. He can go.
Well, here's a Cardinal now appearing in his first World Series, Ron Davis, young man from Portsmouth, Virginia. Came to the Cardinals in midseason. Right-hand batter, he had 203 during the year. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Ron Davis from Duke University. Waiting on Lolich's delivery. Here's a pitch. It's a ball. He checked his swing. 1-1. Detroit leads St. Louis on a second inning home run by Willie Horton. 1-0. The Cardinals are batting in the last half of the second. There's 1 man out of the bases are empty. Tap hit toward third. It'll be a foul ball on the ground. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the sun has been in and out, ducking behind the clouds and then coming back out again all through these first 2 innings. Lolich checks his sign with catcher Bill Freehand, ready to go to work again now. It's a 1-2 pitch coming up to Ron Davis. Here it is. He takes a strike. Struck him out. Called third strike. It'll be the second strikeout for Lolich. And each has been on a call third strike. Dal Maxwell steps up. He failed to hit in 2 turns in game number 1. Right-hand batter who chokes the bat just slightly. Lolich into the windup, 2 out and none on. He delivers a fastball high. Ball 1. Lolich generally has a sinking fastball, and we see grounders. So far, only the bunt by McCarver has been on the ground. There's a foul on the screen, and the count is 1-1 on Maxwell. Lolich does just about everything but pitch in a right-handed fashion. Here's the windup now, the 1-1 delivery. It's high for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. He developed his left arm after a childhood accident. falling off a tricycle. He broke his left shoulder. The doctor told him to develop that shoulder by pitching with his left arm. Is a high fly ball, right center field. Northrop drifting over and back is there, makes the catch, and the side retired. And at the end of 2 innings, it's Detroit 1, St. Louis nothing. Will lead off for the Detroit Tigers. Tigers lead 1-0 going into the 3rd inning over the St. Louis Cardinals. Afterward, it'll be Lolich and then Dick McCullough. Word had a single yesterday in 2 trips against Gibson. Now the windup, and the pitch is cut on. A short fly hit into right center field. Javier going back and makes the catch for the out. Well, Cash and Wirt, Pee Wee, the 2 men who've led off the last 2 innings, have gone for that first pitch.
Yes, they have. Just watching Browse pitch, he did not take too much of a windup. If he can get that curveball over, I think that's the whole secret to his success today. Because if he can't get the curveball over, these batters are going to be watching and waiting for that fastball of his.
There's a strike to Lolich. Lolich is a right-hand batter. At one time he switched around, batted either way. But he is now a right-hand batter. Checks his swing after he'd started, and it's ruled the ball. 1-1. Tigers lead 1-0. They scored the game's only run in the 2nd inning on a home run by Willie Horton. And that's the only Tiger hit. The Cardinals have 1 hit. There's a swing and a miss by Lolich. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Cardinal hit belongs to Javier. It was a single in the 1st inning. Now Briles goes to work, delivers. Here's a foul ball out of play. The outfield is around to right. They expect to see Lolich hit the ball late if he hits it. Tigers lead 1-0 in the 3rd over the Cardinals. There's a curve. It hangs inside. 2-2. Infield is back. And we wait on the 2-2 delivery. Here it is. Fastball hit in the air to left field. Brock going back, way back, and this one might be. It's gone. A home run by Mickey Lolich. 2-0 Detroit. Lolich has never hit a home run in American League competition, so he does it in the World Series.
Barney, that's what I'm talking about. Of course, he's being really congratulated in that Tiger dugout down there. Browse missing with that curveball, coming back with that fastball, both to Horton and Lolich, and they jumped on it.
2-0, Tigers lead. Here's Dick McCullough batting now. He bounced to first his first trip. Here's a curve across from Briles. Lolich's home run was pulled much closer to the line than Horton's and was not hit as hard. 2-0, Detroit leading St. Louis. There's a bounding ball to second base. Javier backs up, has the hop, throw to Cepeda. He got him. And there are 2 down now with nobody on. The next man up will be Stanley. Mickey Stanley hit a fly ball to right. His only time at bat. The Tigers have 2 hits. Each has been a home run. Horton in the 2nd, and Lolich in the 3rd. Here's Stanley waiting on the right hand of Briles. There's a tapper hit slowly toward 3rd. Tough play for Shannon. He gloves it and has no throw. Base hit. The ball was topped by Stanley. Shannon came in and fielded the ball cleanly, but had no shot at all at first base. Well, last year in the World Series, Santiago and Gibson were pitchers who hit home runs. Now, Lolich has done his job for the pitchers in the home run department in this game. Man on first for Detroit. The Tigers lead 2-0 in the third. Here's Kaline. He bounced to short his only time at bat against Nelson Briles, the Cardinal right-hander. There's a bunt attempt toward third. It'll roll foul. So Stanley goes back to first. Kaline returning to the plate.
Ernie, this is something you don't see happen too often. A hitter like Al Kaline with 2 men out and a runner on first base, you don't see him bunt too often. Mike Shannon, even though he bunted on that ball, still 1 strike on him. He said, well, if you want to bunt, Al, go ahead. He's still about 4 or 5 steps in back of that bag.
Now we'll see what Briles gives to Kaline. Strike 1 the count on Al Kaline. It's a fastball that misses the outside corner. 1-1. Detroit leads 2-0 in the third. The outfield is around the left and deep. The infield is way back. Cepeda holding on the bag with Stanley, and there's a throw over there. Mickey back in plenty of time. Here's the set by Briles and the pitch. It's a high fastball. 2-1. Briles fell as he came off the mound that time. Coming over to the first base side, and he sort of stumbled.
Ernie, don't be surprised with the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Al Kaline that Mickey Stanley may not take off for a second. They may try to test McCarver's arm.
The set, the pitch, it's a ball outside. He tried for the outside corner with a fastball. 3-1 now, the count on Kaline. Tigers 2, Cardinals nothing in the third. Carver out to talk to his pitcher. Now Kaline has taken Briles to a 3-1 count. Stanley at first. 2 men out in the third inning in St. Louis. Game number 2 of the World Series. Here's the set. And the pitch. Runner goes. Swing. Foul ball out of play. Well, they had him moving. Kaline, a star who never appeared in a minor league ball game, and some of the other great baseball stars who never played minor league ball. Walter Johnson, Bob Feller, Ted Lyons, Frank Frisch, Mel Ott, to name a few of them. Now we've got a full count coming up. Briles ready, delivers. Here's a pop-up, back of the plate. McCarver coming back, may have room. He does, makes a catch, and the side retired. The Tigers got a run, 1 run on 2 hits, and at the end of 2 1/2 innings, Detroit 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Well, we go to the third inning now with the Cardinals coming to bat, and the paid attendance has been announced, 54,692. The pitcher, Nelson Briles, will lead off for St. Louis in their third inning against the Tiger left-hander Mickey Lolich. Briles takes a strike on the outside corner. He's a right-hand batter. In 138 of the National League season, 2-0, Detroit leading in the third. Tap foul on the ground over toward the Detroit dugout. Strike 2 on the Cardinal pitcher. Outfield is straight up and at normal depth. The infield is back now. The windup, the kick, the pitch. It's a ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mickey Lolich pitching for Detroit, facing his pitching rival. Briles is at the plate right now, leading off in the Cardinal third inning. Lolich checks his sign with freehand, works again. Here it is. Strike called. He struck him out. A fastball header high. That's the third strikeout, 1 per inning. All 3 have been on call third strikes. Lou Brock, who struck out in the first inning, will be the batter. Mickey Lolich is one of the most avid hobbyists I've ever run into. I think his hobby really is collecting hobbies. He'll try just about anything and has many varied interests. Now pitching to Brock with Wirt laying him close at third base. The other infielders are up a step or so. Left-hand batting Brock swings and misses. Strike one. Outfield is straight away. Wirt in very close at third. One out and none on. Brock takes strike call. 2 strikes to count on him. The score, Detroit 2, St. Louis nothing. The Cardinals are batting in the third. They've got 1 out and the bases empty. They've had a hit and a walk off Lolich so far. The left-hander delivers. Here's a strike. He looked as if he started the bunt and then held off. I don't believe it ticked the bat. Well, let's call it a call third strike. And there are 2 down, both on strikes in the third inning. Lolich now has a strikeout total of 4. Javier had a single, his only time at bat. He has the Cardinals' only hit. Detroit leads 2-0 in the third. Sun behind the clouds again. Now it's coming out, just as we said that. Still to be an off and oner. Here's the windup and the pitch. He takes the ball. Detroit with 2 runs and 3 hits. St. Louis, no runs and 1 hit. Lolich ready to go to work again. The windup and the pitch. Strike call to 1-1 on Javier. Well, Mr. Honachik wants to inspect the baseball again. Javier had a fine World Series last year, batted .360. Waiting on a 1-1 delivery now from the Tiger left-hander. The pitch swung on. There's a fly ball. It'll be foul and back into the seats. Back at first base. One ball, 2 strikes. That's the count on him. 2 Detroit home runs put the Tigers into an early lead here. 2-0 in the third. Horton hit one in the second. Pitcher Mickey Lolich hit a home run in the third. Javier back in the batter's box, waiting on a 1-2 delivery from Lolich. The windup, the pitch. Swung on a bounding ball to third. Under the glove of Wirt, knocked down by Stanley. He can't find the ball now. Javier breaking for second. Stanley picks it up and throws late to second. A very unusual play, Mr. Reese.
Yes, it was. The ball was not hit too hard. It was hit right in the hole. Looked to me like Wirt had a real good shot at it. The ball kind of stayed down and down a little bit. And Mickey Stanley, who really moved on it, came over and, of course, he knocked the ball down. He had no chance to throw Javier out, but when he did knock it down, he didn't know where the ball was. And Javier, who has good speed, did not stop at first base and went right on into second.
The official scoring board has ruled that a single for Javier. An error is charged to Stanley, allowing him to reach second base. Here's Curt Flood at bat. He walked his first trip. Right-hand batter waits. The pitch is a strike. Flood played deep and straight away by the outfielders. The infielders are back. The score is Detroit 2 and the Cardinals nothing in the third. Lolich to the set position. Now delivers to Flood, who takes a changeup that is low. He was all ready to go with that one. Had the bat cocked, ready to release it. Decided not to, and the ball floated in there over the plate, but low. 1-1. Javier down off the second base. Set by Lolich. He looks back that way. Now pitches. Flood swings a bounding ball up the middle. Deep second is McAuliffe. Grabs it. Throw to Cash. He got him. And the side retired. So at the end of 3 innings, it's Detroit 2, St. Louis nothing. We're getting ready now for inning number 4 in game number 2 of the 1968 World Series. And the Detroit Tigers with 2 home runs lead the St. Louis Cardinals at 2-0 going into this 4th inning. The Cardinals lead in victories 1-0 so far. Norman Cash will be leading off for Detroit. It's our pleasure now to bring in Pee Wee Reese.
Okay, Ernie, thank you very much. Yes, sir, 2 big home runs for the Tigers. One by a fellow who hit 36 last year, Willie Harden. Another by a fellow, Mickey Lolich, the first one he's ever hit. There's a base hit by Norm Cash out into right field. Ron Davis down on one knee, up with the ball into the shortstop Maxwell. So the Tigers came to play today.
That's the 3rd straight man in the last 3 innings leading off who's hit that first pitch for the Tigers.
As I said, I'll say it again. Nelson Browse must be able to get that curveball over if he expects to beat the Tigers today. Willie Harton. Yesterday he went 0 for 4. He's 1 for 1 today. A big home run, and it was a tremendous one out into left field. Hit 36 home runs on the year. Batted .285. Willie Harton. On at first base, Norm Cash. Nelson Browse checks him over. There's a curveball. It's not over. It's inside. Ball 1. Tony Cuccinella giving signs down at third base. Over at first base, Wally Moses. Willie Harton backs out of there. He gets right back in the back of that batter's box. Keeps his weight back on that back foot. Bat high in the air. Nelson Browse. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside. Ball 2. Mickey Lolich has looked great in this game. Had one little tough spot in the first inning where he got a little wild streak after Javier got a base hit. But then he settled down to get Cepeda and Shannon to fly out to Al Kaline in right field. Lolich has struck out 4. Nelson Browse, he has struck out 1. 2 balls, no strike pitch. Here it is. Ball popped up. Not exactly popped up. That ball is hit pretty good. It's carrying out into left center. Curt Flood. The long throw back into the infield, and that ball fooled me a little bit. Norm Cash back into first base. Ernie, I didn't think he hit that ball too hard, but it carried a long way.
Well, Horton will fool you because sometimes he's so strong when he doesn't hit it very well, it takes off. From the Detroit standpoint, he just didn't pull that one enough. He had a lot of wood on it.
Would that have been a home run in Detroit?
I would say so.
Well, talking about Detroit, we'll be there. Not tomorrow now. Tomorrow's a traveling day. We'll be there Saturday. Same 2 teams. Jim Northup, the hitter. The first pitch. Hit high. Northup, the hitter. The first pitch. Hit high in the center field. Curt Flood comes in. Underneath it and takes it for the second out. Norm Cash going back to first base. Bill Freehan. 0 for 2 yesterday. In the season he batted .263, had 25 home runs. Most all these fellows on the Detroit Ball Club hit in the double figures in home runs. Wirt had 12, Freehan 25, Northup 21, Harton 36, Kaline 10, Stanley 11, and McAuliffe 16. 2 away. First pitch to Freehan. It's in there for call strike 1. Two to nothing. Tigers over the Cardinals. The Cardinals won the first game yesterday on a great game pitched by Bob Gibson, striking out 17 men, setting a record, breaking Sandy Koufax's record of 15. Fastball outside. If Nelson Browse can get that curveball over, then he can throw that fastball a little bit more. But he must prove to these hitters that he can get that curveball over. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bill Freehan. Riles looks over at Cash at first. The 1-1 pitch. It's popped up out into right field. Ron Davis coming over. He has to hurry. He got it. Fair ball, a fine running catch for Ron Davis, and that's all for Bill Freehan. And that's all for the Tigers in the top half of the fourth inning. The score after 3.5 innings of play, it's still the Tigers 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Bottom half the fourth inning. The Cardinals coming into bat. They trail 2-0. Orlando Cepeda. 0 for 4 yesterday. He's 0 for 1 today. He flied out to Al Kaline in right field. The Cardinals have 2 hits, both of them by Javier, the second baseman. Cepeda has had nothing but bad luck in World Series play. Lolich, wind up the kick. Fastball low and outside, ball 1. Talking about World Series play with Cepeda. This is his 3rd series. He had 158 for the Giants in 1962. The Lolich pitch. That ball is hit off to the right, foul right back over the Cardinal dugout. Out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cepeda. Last year, he had 103 for the Cardinals. So Cepeda would like to get hot with that big bat of his. And this fella is a good hitter. But not too much luck in the series. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cepeda. Lolich into the windup. The kick. Fastball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. For the Tigers. For the Cardinals, no runs, 2 hits, and no miscues. 2 balls, 1 strike on Orlando Cepeda. The kick for Lolich. Fastball low and outside, a sinker. 3-1. Cepeda steps out of that batter's box. Looks like he's checking the attendance here, just looking up in the stands. Joe Schultz coaching in 3rd for the Cardinals. Down at first base, Dick Sisler. The 3-1 pitch. Ball hit hard, but right at Mickey Stanley on 1 hop. No trouble over to Norm Cash. So it's 1 up and 1 down as Orlando Cepeda hit that one right on the nose, but right at Mickey Stanley.
It's kind of hops you always used to get at Ebbets Field.
Oh, I love those guys. Anytime they hop over 2 or 3 times, Ernie, they give you a little problem. Mike Shannon. First pitch, foul, right straight back, strike 1. Say one thing, Ernie, that was quite a town to play ball in, though, in Brooklyn.
It was a great place to see a ball game, too, Ebbets Field.
Had some wonderful fans.
You're not kidding.
The 0-1 pitch, a fastball and a dandy right in there for call strike 2. Kind of hard to believe watching this Cardinal ball club against a left-hander. I think they'd have very good luck against him, but they haven't. The 0-2 pitch. He tries to check his swing, hits a little lazy grounder out to McAuliffe at second, who has to hurry, flips the ball over to Norm Cash, and that's all for Mike Shannon. 2 up and 2 down. We're in the bottom half of the fourth inning, talking about a left-hander against this Cardinal ball club. They have beaten left-handers 35 times, and they've lost only 12. The reason I'm talking about this, you have Lou Brock, McCarver. You get Roger Maris out of the lineup when a left-hander comes in there. You're able to hold some of the base runners on there with their tremendous speed with a left-hander, but they have not been too successful against him. But Mickey Lolich has been so far. McCarver takes the first pitch, high and outside, ball 1. Bill Freehan, the catcher. At first base, Norm Cash. Second base, McAuliffe. Shortstop, Mickey Stanley. Third base, Don Wirt. The pitcher, Mickey Lolich. Foul straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lolich's record of the year, 17-9. And Ernie, it didn't look like, or it didn't appear like that Lolich had that good of a record. It's kind of surprising.
He's the kind of pitcher, Pee Wee, that pitches pretty well in the early part of the year, and then has a mid-season slump, and then comes on at the end. And it depends on what time you've been watching him.
Maybe I was watching the wrong time. The 1-1 pitch. Another high hopper out to McAuliffe. Takes it, flips it over to Norm Cash. And that's all for McCarver, and that's all for the Cardinals here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The score after 4 full innings, the Tigers 2, the Cardinals nothing. Top half the fifth inning. At Busch Stadium, I'm Pee Wee Reese along with Ernie Harwell. Don Wirt leading things off for the Tigers. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nelson Brow just missing with a curveball. Don Wirt, 1 for 2 yesterday. He's 0 for 1 today. Another curveball missing, low and outside, ball 2. Now then, let's see if Brow has to come back with that fastball, or will he try to get that curveball over? 2-0. Tigers over the Cardinals. The Cardinals won the first game, 4-0 behind Bob Gibson. Fastball, he got it in there, but a good spot, low and outside. Two big home runs, one by Willie Hart in the second inning, and one by Mickey Lolich in the third inning. Yes, that's right, Mickey Lolich in the third inning. Curveball, missed with it again, 3-2. Don Wirt leading things off for the Tigers. In the top half of the fifth inning, Tony Cuccinelli telling Don Wirt to make it be in there, don't go for a bad pitch. Brow's ready, here's the pitch. It's fouled off the right. Don Wirt will be followed by Mickey Lolich and Dick McAuliffe. Ernie, we saw a ball get by Don Wirt a while ago, which doesn't happen too often.
No, he's a very fine defensive third baseman, but that one got by him.
Fastball too high. Well, although Nelson Brow has been having a little trouble getting his curveball over, that's the first man that he's walked. That brings up Mickey Lolich. Let's see if they're going to sacrifice with him and let him go for that long one again. I'm pretty sure they'll be trying to get Wirt down to second. Nelson Browse looks at Wirt. Zepeda getting ready to come in, and Shannon way in at third base. He may go for second. Shannon catches that ball and flips the ball to Maxwell. And they get Don Wirt at second base.
Terrific play by Shannon. He caught the ball only about 3 or 4 feet in front of the plate, fired to second base, and not only does that cut down the front man, but it gets the Tiger pitcher on the bases.
Yes, it does, and Shannon was a little sneaky there. I mean, he was way in on where the grass is cut. He's about, I can say he could almost shake hands with Tim McCarver, the catcher. A fine play by Mike Shannon, and he caught the ball barehanded. I believe he would have caught the ball in his glove. He would not have had time to throw out Don Wirt at second base. Mickey Lolich on at first. Tap back, gets by Browse. Zepeda flips the ball over to first. Browse covering, but McAuliffe beats the play. Well, here's what happened on that play. The ball was topped down the first baseline. Browse just missed it. He went over. Zepeda fielded the ball. The time Browse got back on track, McAuliffe, who can go down that first baseline about as fast as anyone, especially hitting from that left side, McAuliffe beat Browse the first. So now then we have runners on first and second. One away. And the hitter is Mickey Stanley. Tim McCarver, the catcher, out to talk to his pitcher, Nelson Browse. Two to nothing. Tigers over the Cardinals. Mickey Stanley. Inside out, single. He's 1 for 2. The first pitch by Riles, a fastball in there for call strike 1. Tigers have 2 runs on 5 hits. The Cardinals have no runs on 2 hits, both by Javier. Lolich down at second base. McAuliffe at first. Mickey Stanley, the hitter. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. It's foul straight back. 2 strikes on Mickey Stanley. Defensively for the Cardinals, Cepeda at first, Javier at second, Maxwell at short, Shannon at third, Lou Brock in left, Kurt Flood in center, Ron Davis in place of Roger Maris in right field, Tim McCarver the catcher, Nelson Browse the pitcher. 2 strikes on Mickey Stanley. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. Browse looks back at Lolich at second. The pitch, curveball, low and outside, ball 1. The Tigers threatening here again in the top half of the 5th inning. In the on-deck circle, Al Kaline. Stanley had 2 for 4 yesterday. 1 for 2 today. The 1-2 pitch, way outside, ball 2. The shortstop Maxwell in a couple of steps. Double play depth, we say, and Javier just about the same at second base. Cepeda deep at first. Shannon 2 or 3 steps in back of the bag. There's a ball foul off the right again. And the count remains 2-2. Now this Cardinal ball club in World Series play, I'm telling you, they're tough. They've been in 11 series. And they've won 8 of them. Only one other club has a better record, the New York Yankees. They were in it 29 times and won it 20. St. Louis has won the last 4 series it's played in. The 2-2 pitch to Stanley, and he struck him out on a good fastball high and inside. That's the second strikeout for Nelson Browse. The runners remain at second base. Lolich, Dick McAuliffe at first. 2 away. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. Al Kaline. He's 0 for 2 today. 1 for 4 yesterday. Browse looks back at Lolich. The kick. Fastball, ground ball out to Shannon. He's going over to Javier at second, forcing McAuliffe there. And that's all for Kaline, and that's all for the Tigers here in the top half of the 5th inning. So after 4.5 innings of play, it's still the Tigers 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Amy Reese along with Ernie Harwell here at Busch Stadium, the second game of the World Series. The Cardinals winning the first game 4-0, and the Tigers leading in this game 2-0. Bottom half the 5th inning. The first hitter for the Cardinals, Ron Davis. Lolich first pitch to him, almost hits him. Had to do a little rope skipping there. Ernie, I would say they were looking at 2 pretty good catchers.
The best, and no question about that. McCarver's been held in high esteem for quite a few years, and I think Bill Freehand has come on almost to be his equal.
The 1-0 pitch to Ron Davis. It's too low, ball 2. Lolich has walked 1 man. Flood in the first inning. The 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Dick McAuliffe comes in to talk to Mickey Lolich. Just wants to kind of slow him down a little bit. Gives him a little pat. now that he's going back to his position. Davis has checked with his coach, Joe Schultz, at third base, but I imagine he'll be taking this one all the way. This ball game is moving right along. We're in the bottom half of the fifth inning. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball right down in there. Makes the count 3-1. The first World Series for Ron Davis. He struck out his first time at bat in the second inning. Let's see if he's taking this one. 3-1 pitch. Hits the ball hard out into left center. Willie Harton going back. Jim North at the center fielder right over in front of Harton to make the catch, and that ball was well hit, but it's right in that long shootout there, 386 feet in left center. And that ball could have been a little trouble in Detroit.
I think that would have been a home run at Tiger Stadium, Pee Wee.
You think we may see a little scoring over there?
Oh, you're not kidding. If these batters are swinging, they'll hit some.
One up, one down. Dal Maxwell, the shortstop. The hitter. 0 for 2 yesterday. 252 on the season. Low and inside, ball one. Paid attendance, 54,692. I'd like to have that take, Ernie. Low and inside, ball two, so Lolich.
You know, talking about the two different ballparks, Pee Wee, the parks themselves sort of characterize the two different clubs. The Cardinals have a big park where they do a lot of running. They have excellent balance. The Tigers have a smaller park, and their team is built on power.
Well, I guess that maybe the general manager or the manager, they may have this in mind when they build a ball club.
They might have thought about that a little bit.
I'm sure they did. Lolich had a little wild streak against Ron Davis, going 3-0. He's now 2-0 to Dal Maxwell. Takes the fastball right down in there, call strike one. Bottom half the fifth inning. The Tigers lead 2-0. 2 home runs, one by Willie Harton, one by Mickey Lolich. Harton's in the second, Lolich in the third. Ball hit hard to Hopper, and Stanley looked like he didn't know he had it. And that ball was hit and hit hard. That's a nice play by Stanley.
That was a handcuffer, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. There's a fellow just coming in to play shortstop in the World Series. He's had a couple tough plays. Well, I would say that this fellow will be able to play shortstop and do a fine job for the Tigers if they want him to play there, but he's quite a center fielder also. 2 away. Nelson Browse starts, checks the swing. It's in there anyway. Call strike one. Two up and 2 down. Mickey Lolich. The pitch. Foul back. Strike 2. Nelson Browse is not a bad hitter. He had 11 hits on the season. Didn't look too good on that one, though. Struck him out, and that's off for Browse, and that's off the Cardinals here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. The score after 5 full innings, still the Detroit Tigers 2 and the Cardinals nothing.
Nothing. The Tigers lead on a couple of home runs. Willie Horton hit one in the second. Mickey Lolich hit one in the third. Off Nelson Browse, who's gone all the way for the Cardinals. Lolich has so far blanked the world champion St. Louis Cardinals. And we get ready for inning number 6 and Mr. Reese again.
Thank you, Ernie. That's a nice thing that Joe DiMaggio and the fellows doing. All I can say is be careful.
You know, I think Joe enjoyed his year back in baseball with the Oakland team. He had some fine young players there that he helped the development of.
Well, I would say if I were a young player, I would like to have a fellow like Joe DiMaggio telling me something about hitting or fielding. Defensively for the Cardinals, Cepeda at first, Javier at second, Maxwell at short, Shannon at third, Brock in left, Kurt Flood pull way over to right center in center field, Ron Davis in right, McCarver the catcher, Nelson Browse the pitcher, Norm Cash is a hitter. First pitch to him, a curveball, too low, ball one. Norm popped up to Shannon his first time up. Got a base hit in the right field. He's 1 for 2. He went 0 for 4 yesterday. Takes the fastball in the outside corner. Makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike. He's way back in that batter's box. In fact, I think he's almost out of it. Holds that bat right on the end. The 1-1 pitch. That ball is hit hard. It could be gone. It's a home run for Norm Cash. We've talked about the Detroit Tigers' power, the Cardinals' speed and defense. We saw the Cardinals' speed and defense and pitching yesterday. Today, we are seeing the Tiger power. A home run by this fella right here in the second inning, Willie Harton. Home run by Mickey Lolich in the third inning, and now then a home run in the top half of the sixth inning by Norm Cash. They now have 3 runs on 6 hits. 25 home runs by Cash in the 68 season. And that ball was kind of sort of creamed a little bit. Willie Harton hits one in the hole. Maxwell will have to hurry. Here comes a long throw, and they got him. No, he called him safe. The umpire said that Cepeda did not have the ball. Now we're having a little argument at first base. Here comes Red Shandy's out. It was a great play by Dow Maxwell, the shortstop. He went into the hole, backhanded the ball, braced himself, and fired the ball to Cepeda at first. And Stan Landis, umpiring at first base for the National League, he hesitated, looking to see if Cepeda held onto the ball. He said he didn't. So Willie Harton is on with a base hit.
That's the first real argument we've had in the series so far, Pee Wee. There have been a couple of family looks at a few of the umpires, but this is the first time that anybody broke out verbally. And that was a great play by Maxwell, and he almost had him.
Well, evidently, Stan Landis said that Cepeda did not have control of the ball. Billy Muppet, the pitching coach for the Cardinals, looks to me like he wants a new pitcher.
Yeah, he gave a left-hand sign when he walked out there.
And I understand that Steve Carlton is the long man for the Cardinals, who has not been pitching well lately. He was in the rotation. He was the 4th starter for the Cardinals. In fact, he was 7-1 at one time. He was on the All-Star team for the National League. We still have, and it looks like Steve Carlton. So Nelson Browse.
Nelson leaving the game now. He went 5 innings and pitched to 2 batters, to Cash and Horton in the 6th inning. So far has allowed 3 runs. He'll be responsible for the man at first base, Willie Horton. He gave up 7 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 2. And now we pause 30 seconds for station identification.
This is WJR in Detroit, the great voice of the Great Lakes.
Steve Carlton, the left-hander, tuning up now for the St. Louis Cardinals, replacing the starting St. Louis pitcher Nelson Briles. 3 Tiger home runs, getting Briles off the mound. Incidentally, the most home runs allowed by one pitcher in one game in World Series history is 4. Charlie Root of the Cubs in 32, Gene Thompson of the Reds in 39, and Dick Hughes of the Cardinals in 67 share that World Series record. Carlton coming on, relieving the starter Nelson Briles. Carlton had, over the season, won 13 games and lost 11. The totals so far, the Tigers have 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The Cardinals have no runs, 2 hits, and no errors.
Jim Northrop, the hitter for the Tigers. Willie Harton on at first. There's no one out. And that runner at first base belongs to Nelson Briles. Ball hit hard right back to the middle. It's a base hit. Curt Flood charges Willie Harton down to second. Holds there as Northrop gets his first hit of the series. And the Tigers are coming on strong. 3 home runs. Harton, Lolich, and Norm Cash. Carlton relieved only one time in 1968. Bill Freehan takes a curveball low and inside, ball 1. As Ernie told you, Carlton had a record of 13 and 11. Not a bad earned run average of 2.99. Curveball in there for call strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Willie Harton down at second. Jim Northrop on at first. Still no one out. The on-deck circle downward. Carlton looks at the runner back. A swing and a miss. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes on Bill Freehan. The Tigers have 1 run in and they are threatening. Fastball too low, makes the count 2-2. Bill Freehan hit 25 home runs in 68. He was 0 for 2 yesterday. 0 for 2 today. The count 2-2 on him. Carlton looks back at Harton at second. Here's the pitch. Too low, ball 3. Tony Cuccinella down at third base giving the signs with no one out. The count 3-2 on Freehan. Will they send the runners? Well, let's take a look. Carlton looking back at Harton. He did not go. The ball is fouled straight back. Remains the count 3-2. Tomorrow is a traveling day. No game tomorrow. Saturday in Detroit. Same 2 teams, of course. Starting time 12:45. Here's the pitch. Ball foul off the right. As Carlton comes with the fastball. It looks like in that third game over Detroit, it'll be Washburn for the Cardinals against Earl Wilson of the Tigers. Certainly hope that you can be with us. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Bill Freehan. Here's the pitch. And foul back again. In the 6th inning, Norm Cash started things off with a tremendous home run in about the 3rd or 4th deck here at Busch Stadium. And Willie Harton got an infield hit had a little discussion with at first base, so Billy Muffet, the pitching coach for the Cardinals, came out and got Browse, and we now have Carlton. That ball is popped up. Infield fly rule. Runner on first and second. Nobody or one man out. The batter is automatically out. The runners could run at their own risk. They hold tight. So Bill Freehan, after getting the count 3-2, pops it up to Orlando Cepeda at first base. That brings up Don Wirt. So it's one away now. Wirt walked his last time up. He popped up to the second baseman in the third inning. He's 0 for 1. Curveball, low and inside, ball 1. McCarver telling Ron Davis, the right fielder, he's bringing him in. Wirt can hit the long ball. He had 12 home runs. On the season. Fastball and a good one. Right down in there for call, strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Don. Mickey Lolich in the on-deck circle. Tony Cuccinella, Hollander Wirt. Get a good one. Wally Moses, the coach at first base, yelling encouragement to Wirt. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Here's the kick. It's foul back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Someone evidently made a good play in the stands. A beautiful day in St. Louis. The sun is shining brightly. A lot warmer. 1 man out. Top half the 6th inning. Ball inside. Makes the count 2-2. Wirt had to move back away from that plate. Harton at second. Jim Northup at first. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball too high.
Wirt generally is a pretty good strike 2 hitter. And very often he'll hit the pitch to right field. Mostly a line drive hitter, but as you say, he has the power to hit one out once in a while.
3-2. This is exactly where he had Bill Freehan. The runners did not go. The pitch is outside. Ball 4. So the bases are loaded. The first walk given up by Steve Carlton. Cepeda in to say something to Carlton. McCarver has something to say to him. In fact, he yells out to the infield, 1 away. The hitter, Mickey Lolich. The old home run king himself. He hit a home run in the 3rd inning, the first of his career in the majors, which made the score 2-0. The score right now is 3-0 on all home runs by the Tigers. Here's the pitch to Lolich. Fastball, just got that outside corner, strike 1. Harton at third. Northup at second. Don Wirt at first. 1 strike on Mickey Lolich. Mike Shannon in at third. Cepeda in at first. Shortstop and second base in double play depth. Curveball in there, call strike 2. McAuliffe on deck circle. Curveball too high. Ball 1. The bases are loaded. Carlton taking a little more time now. Wants to get out of this jam. He is not taking his windup. Here's the pitch. He struck him out. A big strikeout by Steve Carlton. That makes 2 away. Bases are still loaded. And it brings up Dick McAuliffe. And the Tigers would like to get a base hit here and break this game wide open. Dick McAuliffe with that wide open stand. The kick by Steve Carlton. Curveball just got the outside corner, strike one. We're in the top half of the sixth inning. McAuliffe 1 for 3 on the day. Curveball high, inside, ball one. For a leadoff man, this little fella has good power. 16 home runs. Batted .249 on the year. 1 for 4 yesterday. The 1-1 pitch. He fouled it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Downward on at first. Northup at second. Woody Harton at third. And Dick McAuliffe the batter. 2 away. We're in the second game of the 1968 World Series. And the Tigers lead 3-0. Here's the pitch. Ball hit out in the center field. Curt Flood will have to hurry. Here he comes in. He drops the ball. He drops the ball. 2 runners will score. Here comes the throw. Was a line drive hit by Dick McAuliffe. It looked like that Curt Flood did not pick that ball up right away. He came in on it and looked like he caught the ball. Then he dropped it. Of course, when he hit the ball, the runners were moving. 2 runners scored. Harton and Northup. Moving to third was Don Wirt. Down at second base is Dick McAuliffe. And the hitter is Mickey Stanley. We're kind of holding up to see what the official score said on that. They give him a single. And McAuliffe just moved the second on the throw. So it'll be 2 runs batted in for McAuliffe. There's a pitch inside, ball 2 to Mickey Stanley. And I can imagine the fellow in center field right now, Curt Flood, and he feels like he should have had that ball. There's a fellow, anytime he gets his head on that ball, he usually catches it. Carlton's big kick. There's the ball hit hard out in right center. They have to hurry to get to that with Ron Davis going over, and he takes it for out number 3. So that's all for the Tigers here in the top half of the sixth inning, but they came up with 3 big runs. So the score after 5.5 innings of play is the Detroit Tigers 5 and the Cardinals nothing.
Well, the Tigers got 3 there in the 6th, starting on the home run by Cash, then a single by Horton, a single by Northup, a walk to Wirt, low to the bases. McAuliffe drove in 2 more with a single, a ball on which Flood charged, had his glove on it, and couldn't hang on. So now we go to the last half of the 6th, and the Tigers have a 5-0 lead. Here's Pee Wee again.
Yes, sir, and the Cardinals must get back in this ball game, and it's getting late. Bottom half of the 6th inning, Lou Brock, the leadoff man, the first hitter. Lolig's first pitch time is low and outside, ball 1. And Brock has struck out twice today. And this fellow has had some good series in his time. This makes his 3rd series. His lifetime batting average is .349. Low and outside, ball 2. And the fans come to life here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Brock had 62 stolen bases on the year, which was a league leader. He also led the league in doubles and triples. It's too high, ball 3. The attendance today, 54,692. The count 3-0 on Lou Brock. Bottom half the 6th inning. He'll be taking all the way, I'm sure. Lolich into the windup, the kick. It's too low. Ball 4. That's the second walk given up by Lolich in this ball game. He walked Curt Flood way back in the first inning, but then he settled down to get Cepeda and Shannon to fly out to Al Kaline in right field. Let's see what happens here. Javier, the batter. Let's see if he takes that first pitch. There goes the runner. Ball gets by Freehan. Brock didn't know exactly what happened. He started back to first base. Lolich looked as if he was not paying any attention to Brock at first base. He just got a running start. A stolen base for Brock. Kind of an unusual play.
Almost started back to first base there for a moment.
Yeah. One ball, no strikes on Javier. He bluffs up on its outside, ball 2. Was just about a step in back of Brock. You just can't do that with this fellow. He'll run if you're 6 or 7 runs behind. He thinks he can get that bag. The 2-0 pitch to Javier. He's taking all the way. Call strike 1. 5-0. The Tigers over the Cardinals. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Tigers scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 3 in the top half of the 6th inning. 2 balls, 1 strike on Javier. Lou Brock down at second base. Work in at third. Lolich looking at Brock at second. Here's the pitch. Curveball in there for call strike 2. Lou Brock down at second hurt his shoulder yesterday when he stole second base. Took a couple shots of cortisone. Said it bothered me a little bit to swing today, but he would be in there. And he is. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Javier. Down at second, Lou Brock. No one away. Lolich sets. Looks at Brock. Brock made a bluff, didn't go, struck him out. Strikeout for Mickey Lolich. Freehan out to talk to Mickey. One away. Curt Flood's a batter. Flood walked in the first inning. Grounded out to McAuliffe in the third inning. I imagine Freehan told Lolich to kind of check Brock back at second. Although they trail 5-0, he will go. Not now, I don't think so. Flood takes the first pitch. Is in there for call strike 1. Scar in the ball club will do anything. Work. Keeping an eye on Flood. See if he will bunt here. McAuliffe bluffs Brock back. Here's the pitch. Little high hopper. Lolich takes it. He looks to Brock, and he has no chance.
play there for the pitcher, Loaded. He got off the mound to the third base side, caught the high hopper, and then as he turned and got ready to throw to first base, he slipped on the grass of the inner infield and very wisely held onto the ball because if he had thrown it, he might have thrown it very wild. So the Cardinals have runners at first and third and one man out.
Okay, Ernie, thank you. Got a big hitter up there right now. As we've talked about at the start of this game, he has not done well in World Series play. I know he would like to put this Cardinal ball club back in play right now. They trail 5-0. The infield is back, except Norm Cash at first base. He's holding Flood on. Lolich checks the runners. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball one. On deck circle, Mike Shannon. Cepeda went 0 for 4 yesterday. He's 0 for 2 today. In World Series play, 115 is his batting average. And this fella is a real fine hitter. 1 ball, no strike pitch. Curveball in there. Call strike 1. To me, like Cepeda was ready to jump on or pounce on that fastball, and Lolich came in there with a slow curve. Good pitch by Mickey Lolich. Lou Brock on at third. Kurt Flood on at first. 2 pretty fair base runners. Here's the pitch. Ball hit out into short left field. That ball may be trouble. It falls in there for a base hit. Here comes Willie Hart and says that Lou Brock has scored the first run for the Cardinals. Runners on first and third. Mickey Lolich made a good pitch to Cepeda. He jammed him with a curveball, hit him on the fist. With a little sharp, lazy looper out into left field. Neither Stanley or Hart could get to it. Brock scored. Flood moved to third, and Cepeda's on at first. The hitter is Mike Shannon. The score is now 5-1. The first pitch to Shannon. Ground ball could be a double play. Stanley over to McAuliffe for 1. To Norm Cash at the double play. A real fine play by Mickey Stanley to Dick McAuliffe to Norm Cash. And that takes the Tigers out of a little trouble here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. But they came up with 1 run. So the score after 6 full innings, the Tigers 5, the Cardinals 1.
Ernie Harwell along with Pee Wee Reese. We're in St. Louis for the second game of the World Series. The Cardinals won the first one yesterday behind the great pitching of Gibson 4-0. The Tigers lead this one today 5-1 going to the 7th inning. Al Kaline up and he fouls it off out of play. Back of the plate in the seats. Fine double play started by the converted outfielder shortstop Mickey Stanley. Choked off the Cardinals here in the last half of the 6th inning. Kaline fouls this one off the mask of McCarver and back into the seats. Strike 2, the count on Al Kaline. He is without a hit in this game. He's bounced to short, foul to the catcher, and hit into a force out to the third baseman. Steve Carlton on the mound for the Cardinals in relief of Nelson Briles, the starter. The lanky left-hander kicks high, delivers. Here's a line shot up the middle, a base hit for Kaline. He makes his turn at first base now, a big turn, and draws a throw back into the middle of a diamond. It gets by the second baseman, Javier, but he's backed up on the mound by the pitcher, Carlton, and Kaline holds at first base. Well, the Tigers have had a hit in every inning except the first, when they went out 1, 2, 3, and their hit total has now reached 10. The only Tigers without hits in this game are Freehan and Wirth, the number 7 and number 8 batters. Here's Norman Cash, who contributed a home run and a single to the attack so far. 2 for 3. He's taking a fastball in close as he squared to bunt and didn't offer on the pitch. Shannon charging in from third base on him. Tigers 5, the St. Louis Cardinals 1. It's the first half of the 7th inning. Detroit with a man on and nobody out. There's a toss to first base, and it fools Cepeda, bounded away from him off his chest, but he picks it up between home and first, and Kaline has to hold at first base. Cepeda was ready to charge in. Kaline got back to the bag, but Cepeda had to catch the ball on the run, and it hit him on the chest.
Well, Cepeda evidently thought that Carlton was not coming to first. I would say that's a pretty good move when you pick the first baseman off.
You fool him, you really got one, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Here's Cash waiting now and takes a high, hard one. He didn't indicate that he was going to bunt that time. 2-0, the count on Stormin' Norman Cash. Tigers with 2 hits are McCullough. He's knocked in 2 runs. Cash, he's had a home run in the single. And Willie Horton, he's had a home run in the single. Lolich also has a Tiger home run. The Cardinals scored their run in the 6th on a walk and 2 singles. Here's a foul ball over the screen, back of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count on Cash. Cepeda holding on the bag with Kaline. That gives Cash a little more of a target to hit to between Cepeda and Javier, the second baseman. The outfield is deep to right on Cash. Now the set by Carlton. The left-hander kicks and deals, swing and a miss. That ball in under the hands, and the count is 2-2. Cash, an open stance hitter. He's adopted that stance since the mid-season point. Waiting now on the 2-2 delivery. Here it comes. He swings and fouls it out of play. Pee-wee, that Carlton is all angles. A big, tall guy. He throws those elbows and knees at you.
Reminds me a little bit of a left-handed Ewell Blackwell, as Dixie Walker once described. Looked like a man falling out of a tree.
Now the 2-2 pitch to Cash. Swing, a bounding ball up the middle. It is through for a hit. Kaline turning at second, races on to third base. Flood has the ball and rifles it back into the middle of a diamond. Man on first and a man on third. Nobody out. And that is the 3rd hit for Cash. He's the only man in the game with 3. It's the 11th Detroit hit. And here comes Mr. Muffet, the pitching coach of the Cardinals, out. We may get another pitching change here, Pee-wee.
Yes, we may. I was just thinking about Cash trying to bunt it on the first pitch. I don't imagine Norm Cash has had too many opportunities to bunt.
Not many.
Well, the Tigers have really come to life with their bats today. They have 11 hits and 5 runs, and they're in a pretty good position to score some more here in the top half of the 7th inning, as they have Al Kaline on at third, Norm Cash on at first, no one away. Billy Muffet out to take Mr. Steve Carlton out. He's going to bring in a right-hander, I imagine, to pitch to this next fella coming up here. Kind of thrives on left-handers, Willie Horton. And I still can't tell who it is. It looks a little bit like Ron Willis. One thing, I believe he is a right-hander. He's got his glove on his left hand, Ernie.
That's ought to tell you something, doesn't it? Well, you're right, Pee-wee. It's Ron Willis coming on now to do the pitching. During the National League season, he was in 48 games, all in relief, but he won 2 and lost 3, at an earned run mark of 3.38. So Carlton leaves the mound. The lanky left-hand reliever pitched 1 full inning, worked to 2 other batters. He will be responsible for them. They're on the bases right now. He allowed 1 run, gave up 4 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 1. So Willis, a 25-year-old right-hander from Memphis, Tennessee, takes his warm-up tosses. And he'll be pitching to the Tiger batter who got the first Tiger run home, Willie Horton. The totals so far in the game, the Tigers have 5 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. The Cardinals have 1 run on 4 hits, and they've made no errors.
Ernie, it goes back a long way since the Tigers won their last game in a series. In fact, it goes back to 1945. Against the Chicago Cubs, they beat the Cubs 9-3. And here's a familiar name, who was a winning pitcher in that game. A left-hander by the name of Hal Newhouser. He went all the way for the Tigers.
He was a good one. Well, the situation now, the Detroit Tigers have Kaline at third base, Norman Cash at first. They lead in the game by a score of 5-1, and Willis takes over. Right-hander against the right-hand batting Willie Horton. Horton hit a home run, fly to center, hit the ball to deep left center. It was caught by Flood on the warning track. And then the next time up had a single. Well, the Cards set themselves in double play depth. And Horton very carefully sets himself in the batter's box to face Ron Willis. Here's a pitch. He takes the ball outside. Cash at first base, Kaline at third. Shannon is about even with the bag. Cepeda holding on first base with Cash. Now the set by Willis. The pitch, he sidearms him. It's a fastball outside, 2-0. Tigers have 2 men on and nobody out. And after Horton, it'll be Northrup. Outfield very deep and around to left on Willie Horton. Now the set by Willis. And he pitches again, a fastball outside. 3-0 the count. A couple of singles have set up this scoring chance for the Tigers here in the 7th inning. Now Willis goes to his set position, delivers. High ball 4, the bases are loaded. Horton gets a walk. Cash moves to second. Kaline stays at third, and Northrup the batter. This fella Pee Wee hit 2 grand slams at successive times at bat in Cleveland.
Well, he's been here before then, hasn't he?
Right. Jim Northrup. And this afternoon, Northrup has popped to shortstop in a fly ball to center and had a single through the box. The infield is up. 3 men on for the Tigers, nobody out. They lead 5-1 over the Cardinals in game number 2 of the World Series. It's a cut and a miss. Pitch came in about knee high. Here's the windup by Willis. The pitch. A tap back to the mound. It's through his legs to shortstop. Maxwell steps on second, throws to Cepeda, a double play. In to score comes Kaline. And the Tigers now have a man on third and 2 out. And lead in the game by a score of 6-1. Well, it might have been better for the Cardinals if the ball got through his legs.
Well, I was thinking that. Of course, Ernie, I know the Cardinals did not want to give up another run. If Willis hadn't fielded that ball, I still think maybe they could have gotten a double play from home to first.
Here's Freehand batting now. He's 0 for 3. Takes the ball outside. Cash is the runner at third base with 2 out. Detroit leading 6-1. Willis delivers. Freehand takes a strike. A curve got the outside corner. 1-1. Freehand looking for his first hit in the series. 0 for 2 yesterday, none for 3 today. Now the windup and the 1-1 pitch. It's low and outside. 2-1 the count on him. There'll be no RBI for Northrup on the grounding into the double play. 6-1, Detroit in the lead. It's the 7th inning. Here it comes. Outside, 3-1. Cash on third and 2 out. Ron Willis getting his side now. Ready to work again. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch that jammed him a little bit. 3-2 on Freehand. Detroit got a run in the second, a run in the third, 3 in the sixth. They've added 1 here in the seventh. The Cardinals scored their run in the sixth inning. Now Willis ready for action. The pitch. Swing and a tap foul on the ground over toward the Cardinal dugout. Briles started on the mound for St. Louis. Carlton relieved him in the sixth. Willis came on here in the seventh inning. For Detroit, it's been Lolich all the way so far. Cash still at third, 2 down, 3-2 count on Bill Freehand. The wind-up, the pitch is on the way. He swings and strikes out. So at the end of 6.5 innings, it is Detroit 6 and the Cardinals 1.
Amy Reese along with Ernie Harwell here at Busch Stadium. We're going into the bottom half of the seventh inning. The first hitter for the Cardinals will be Tim McCarver. And the Cardinals will try to get back in this ball game. They trail by a score of 6-1. The Tigers have 6 runs on 11 hits. The Cardinals have 1 run on 4 hits. Mickey Lolich all the way for the Tigers. We have seen 3 pitchers for the Cardinals. Briles, Carlton, and Willis. Stepping in there now is Tim McCarver, and stepping back in at the mic, Ernie Harwell.
And the Tigers have made some defensive changes. Mickey Stanley has left shortstop, gone to play center field. Northrop, the center fielder, has moved it over to left, and Euler is the new Tiger shortstop, Ray Euler. Tim McCarver, the fine Cardinal catcher, leading off against Mickey Lolich. The Tigers lead 6-1 in the seventh inning. Bounding ball to second base. McCullough grabs it. The throw to Cash. He's out. 1 pitch and 1 away in the Cardinals' seventh inning. The next St. Louis batter will be Ron Davis. He struck out and then hit a long fly ball to left center field for an out in the fifth inning. Outfield is around to left on him. The infield back. The infield now for the Tigers. Wirt at third. Euler at shortstop. McCullough at second and Cash at first. Lolich delivers. There's a drive to left. Over comes Northrop. Is there to glove it for the out. 2 pitches and 2 away in the seventh inning for St. Louis. And the next man to bat for the Cardinals will be their shortstop, Dal Maxwell. He has flied to center and bounced to short. Tigers lead the Cards in game number 2 of the World Series 6-1. The Cardinals won behind the brilliant Bob Gibson in the opener yesterday. 4-0. Here's a strike called on the outside corner. Mickey Lolich, the Detroit left-hander, has gone all the way here in St. Louis in this second game of the series. Now kicks and deals, and there's a foul fly back at first base. It'll be in the seats. Ed Spezio is at the on-deck circle now for the Cardinals. The pitcher due up next. Two out, the base is empty. The Tigers lead 6-1. The wind-up, the kick, the pitch, in high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Maxwell. Outfield just about straight away, the infield back. Checking the sign by Lolich. He winds, delivers. Here's a strike called. He struck him out. A curve broke across, and at the end of 7, it is Detroit 6, St. Louis 1.
The Tigers have shown their power today. They lead in this ball game by a score of 6-1. 3 home runs in this game. 1 by Willie Hart in the second, Mickey Lolich in the third, Norm Cash in the sixth. They scored 3 runs in that inning and 1 in the seventh inning. The Cardinals scored their 1 run in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Leading off for the Tigers here in the top half of the 8th inning will be Don Wirt, followed by Mickey Lolich and Dick McCullough. The pitcher for the Cardinals, Ron Willis. He is the third of the day. So the Tigers have said we've talked about their power all year. They have shown it today. And now then, to tell you all about it, Ernie Harwell.
Thanks again, Pee Wee. And here's Don Wirt stepping in to be followed by Lolich, and then the top of the Detroit batting order, McCullough. Ron Willis, right-hander on the mound, pitching to Don Wirt. He serves a strike that got to the outside corner. The outfield plays work straight away. Now they're moving Flood a little bit over to the right center spot. The windup and the pitch, sidearm outside, and the count on Wirt is even 1-1. Wirt developed in the farm system of the Detroit club, like so many of the players in the starting lineup here today. He takes a curve, checking his swing. The count is 2-1 on Don Wirt. Here's a pitch. Swung on and fouled on the screen. This fellow Wirt's not very big, but he's muscular. A couple of years ago, he had a job in the offseason throwing around feed bags, building up those muscles in the chest, shoulders, and arms. Nobody on, nobody out in the eighth. Here's a pitch. Took a half cut, held up and up. It's ruled a ball. 3-2. Willis thought he had him fanned. Eighth inning, the Tigers lead 6-1. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Wirt. Struck him out. Got the outside corner with a fastball. A good pitch. That's the second strikeout for Willis. He's fanned the last 2 men he's faced. Now, Mickey Lolich, who has pitched a strong game, limiting the Cardinals to 1 run and 4 hits, contributing a home run himself, the only home run of his major league career, steps in. And these Cardinal fans give him a round of applause. Willis delivers, and Lolich swings and misses. Strike one. The Tigers have had at least 1 hit in every inning except the first. Willis working quickly, comes back with a fastball. It's hit in the air, out into short right center field for a single by Lolich. And that's his second hit of the afternoon. Hit number 12 for Detroit. Dick McAuliffe will be the next batter. McAuliffe has singled his last 2 trips. The first 2 times he bounced out, the first base and the second base. The only Tigers without hits now among the starters, Freehan and Wirt. And Wirt was on base twice for the walk. 8th inning, 6-1 favor Detroit. Infield a double play depth for the Cardinals. They came up with a neat double play in the 7th inning. Lolich leading off first base. McAuliffe waits. The pitch is a ball outside. And the count ball 1 on Dick McAuliffe. Horton, Lolich, and Cash have hit home runs for Detroit in this game. Well, the first 3 runs scored were all on bases empty homers. And there's a strike. 1-1 on McAuliffe. Open stance hit, a very unusual type of stance. He rocks back on that back foot. Call it the John L. Sullivan stance. 1-1 the count on him. Cepeda holding on the bag with Lolich at first. And the pitch on the way, he takes one in close. 2-1. Ron Willis is the Cardinal pitcher. He's the 3rd one that Fred Changing has used. Now checking his sign with Tim McCarver. And time called at the plate by umpire Honachek. Cardinals got their run in the 6th inning. On a walk to Brock, single by Flood, a single by Cepeda. Here's the pitch. He takes the ball in close. Might have a few ideas on that one, Pee Wee.
I believe he did. Looked like Cepeda was playing in back of Mickey Lolich, who they don't expect to steal at first base. And McAuliffe thought maybe he could take one with him and get a base hit.
Now he's gone to 3-1 count. Ron Willis sets and delivers. McAuliffe takes in close. Another walk. Well, the Tigers have 2 men on in the 8th inning with 1 man out. Lolich cruises on down to second on the walk to Dick McAuliffe. That's the second walk off Willis. He walked the first man to whom he pitched. That was Willie Horton in the 7th inning. And now Stanley, who has played a very fine shortstop for Detroit and come up with 1 hit in 4 trips, will be the batter. Mickey is right now a center fielder. He was switched back to center field last inning. The Cardinals stay in double play depth. The Tigers have 2 men on. They lead St. Louis 6-1 in the 8th inning. There's a strike. Sidearm. McAuliffe on first. Mickey Lolich, the run to second. Mickey's not venturing off too far from second base. Flood playing Stanley in center field almost straight away. Willis delivers. Here's a bounding ball to second. Javier has it over to Maxwell for 1. Relay to first. It's a double play for the Cardinals to end the inning. And at the end of 7.5 innings, it's the Tigers 6, St. Louis 1.
Going in the bottom half of the 8th inning, we see a pinch hitter coming out of that Cardinal dugout. Phil Gagliano will be batting for Ron Willis, so we'll see the 4th pitcher of the day. Mickey Lolich all the way for the Tigers. He's given up only 1 run and 4 hits. Pitched a great game for the Tigers. And now then back in here, Ernie Harwell. Come on in, Ernie.
Thanks, Pee-wee. Gagliano getting ready to bat now against Lolich. He's a right-hand batter. Another one of the Cardinals who hails from Memphis, Tennessee. He batted .229 in the National League season. Phil Gagliano. Outfield is straight up. The Tigers lead 6-1 the last half of the 8th inning in the 2nd game of the World Series. Here's a strike call. Lolich fed him a curveball. For a while in the 6th inning, Lolich went a lot to his curve. And in the 7th, he got him out in a hurry, mostly with a fastball. There's a cut and a miss. Strike 2 on Gagliano. Detroit leading 6-1. It's the Cardinals at bat of the 8th with strike 2 count on the leadoff man, Gagliano. Takes a high, hard one, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check of the sign by the Tiger left-hander, Mickey Lolich, ready to go into action again now. The 1-2 pitch. Cut on and popped in the air over near the seats. Foul ball. Cash coming over. May not have room. Nope, it's out of play. Just about 3 rows out of his reach. 6 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error for Detroit. St. Louis, 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. First 3 Tiger runs were on home runs by Horton, Lolich, and Cash. Cardinals got their run in the 6th inning on a walk and a couple of singles. The 1-2 pitch to Gagliano. Very wide. 2-2 the count on the pinch batter. He'll be followed by Lou Brock and then Julian Javier. Gagliano stands deep in the batter's box now to wait on this 2-2 delivery from Lolich. The windup, here it comes. Very wide again, a fastball, 3-2. That one got away from him.
Ernie, I imagine that Mayo Smith will be watching Mickey Lolich rather closely here in the latter part of this ball game because he started 32 games and only finished 8 of them. So he could be getting just a little bit tired. We'll watch him closely.
Here's a windup by Lolich in the 3-2 delivery. Ground ball hit on a high hop to Word at deep third. He has it. The throw to Cash is in time, and Gagliano's out. 1 up and a 1 out. In the Cardinal late, the Tigers lead 6-1. Lou Brock, who has scored the only St. Louis run, comes to bat. He struck out the first 2 times. He took all 3rd strikes in the 1st and 3rd innings. He led off the 6th inning with a walk, stole 2nd, went to 3rd on a single by Flood, and came home on a single by Cepeda. And Word laying in close at 3rd base in case Lou wants to try to bunt his way on. The outfield is slightly toward left. Here's the pitch. Strike. Hit the outside corner letter high. It's It's the 8th inning. The Detroit Tigers lead 6-1 over the Cardinals. He tried for the corner that time. Lolich did and missed it. 1-1, the count on Brock. Javier at the on-deck circle. He has 2 of the Cardinals' 4 hits. Brock waiting now on a 1-1 delivery from the Tiger pitcher Lolich. Here it is. It's a ball wide. 2-1, that's the count. He checked his swing after starting on that one. Nobody on base. 1 man out of the 8th. Tigers lead 6-1. Here's the windup by the Tiger left-hander Lolich. The pitch swung on, a base hit, center field. A line shot right through the box. Almost took his head off with that one. That's the 5th Cardinal hit, and they've all been picked up by the first 4 batters in the order. Javier, the batter now. He has been the toughest of the Cardinal hitters. 2 hits in this game, his first 2 trips. And Lolich got him on strikes in the 6th inning. Lolich is fanned to 7 and allowed 1 base on balls. Oh, Brock at first base, and the Tigers lead by 5 runs, 6-1. There's 1 man out in the last half of the 8th inning in St. Louis. So Javier steps out of the batter's box for a moment. The infield up a little close. Set by Lolich. The pitch is a wide one, ball 1. Bright and sunny now in St. Louis. No game tomorrow. The 2 teams resume action at Detroit's Tiger Stadium on Saturday for game number 3. Washburn against Wilson. Lolich deals over to first base. Brock is back at the time. Lolich has a natural move to first, and even when he goes to the plate, it looks as if he might be throwing to first base at times. Now, Brock has a big lead at first and draws another throw. Tigers lead the Cardinals 6-1 in the 8th inning. He edges off again. Lolich sets and throws again to first base. Imagine, Pee Wee, this is sort of a feeling out on the part of both, isn't it?
It looked like that Brock did not intend to steal second with the score 6-1. Lolich threw over there, and it kind of woke Brock up a little bit, so he really came off of that bag, as you mentioned, and he's about 5 steps up. There he goes.
There's a throw to first. He goes. A throw back to second is wild, and Euler spears it to save an overthrow by Cash. Brock steals second. The big lead, and Lolich threw to first, and when he did, Lou broke for second and gets a stolen base. That's the 5th Cardinal steal in the series, the 3rd for Brock. Javier waiting, now Euler ducks behind, and Brock doesn't move. There's a ground ball hit the work. He gloves it, looks the second throw to Cash, gets the batter Javier. Brock holding at second base. 2 down, a man on second.
You could see Javier, he can handle that bat, and as soon as he saw Euler standing on second base, he was trying to hit that ball right in that shortstop position. But the ball was inside. He couldn't quite get around it fast enough.
Here's Kurt Flood coming to bat. He has walked, bounced to second, and singled. Detroit leading 6-1. The Cardinals at bat with 2 out on the man at second base in the last half of the 8th inning of game number 2 of the World Series. Right-hand batting Flood waiting, and the pitch is butted and fouled off back of the plate on the ground. What an exciting ball player Lou Brock is. Outfield is straight up on Flood. Infield is back now with 2 down. The Tigers lead 6-1 in the 8th inning over the Cards. Lolich sets and pitches. Foul ball on the screen. Lolich has gone all the way for the Tigers. Now takes his set. The strike 2 pitch coming up to Flood. Low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brock waiting on a 1-2 delivery from the Tiger left-hander Lolich. Here's the pitch to Flood. He swings and strikes out. Got him. And that retires a side. And at the end of 8, it's the Tigers 6, the Cardinals 1.
Well, we're going in the top half of the 9th inning, the last time for the Tigers. Unless the Cardinals can come up with some runs to tie it up in the bottom half of the 9th inning. It'll be Al Kaline, Norm Cash, and Willie Harton. The new pitcher, Joe Horner. And he is the 4th pitcher for the Cardinals today. The score, the Tigers 6, the Cardinals 1. 12 hits for the Tigers, 5 hits for the Cardinals. Al Kaline stepping into the box, Ernie Harwell.
Joe Horner, the left-hander for the Cardinals, won 8 and lost 2 in the regular National League season. Now faces Kaline, who has a single in 4 turns at bat this afternoon. The Tigers lead 6-1, 9th inning. Horner delivers. It's a strike called on Kaline, a fastball over. Riles started. Carlton in the 6th. Willis in the 7th. Horner in the 9th inning for St. Louis. Kaline takes the ball in close. 1-1, the count on the Detroit right fielder. He'll be followed by Cash and then the shortstop Ray Euler. There's a bounding ball to left, a hit for Kaline, his 2nd, and the 13th for the Detroit batters this afternoon. A Tiger hit in every inning except the 1st, when the starter Riles set him down 1-2-3. And here's a man who's been one of the big guns for Detroit, Norman Cash, with 2 singles and a home run. He's had 3 straight hits. Riles got him out on a pop-up to Shannon the first time up. There's a butt in the air. Shannon has it bound off his glove to the mound, picks it up, throws to second, and safe at second base is Kaline. 2 men on and nobody out. Shannon charged the ball and hit his glove, bounded back to the mound. He picked it up, tried to throw to the shortstop Maxwell covering, and Kaline, who was holding up because the ball was in the air, managed to beat the throw. The throw was a little bit wide. When Pee Wee pulled him off slightly.
Yes, it was, and they've given Mike Shannon, the third baseman, an error on the throw. Looks like that ball was a little hot there for a while. He had plenty of time to get Al Kaline at second base, but the throw was just a little bit wide, just enough to pull Maxwell off, and now we have runners at first and second. The hitter is Ray Euler.
Euler had a 135 batting average in the American League. Right-hand hitter. Young man from Indianapolis squares to bunt and takes the pitch low. Ball 1. And takes the pitch low. Ball 1. Zepeda charging in from first base. Shannon has to sort of stop and go at third. There's a bunt toward third, fielded by Shannon. He'll go to first base. To Javier covering. It's a sacrifice by Euler. Kaline to third. And on to second goes Cash. Well, the Tigers have runners at second and third. 1 man out, and the batter will be Northrop. Northrop's had a single in 4 turns. The Cardinals pulling their infield almost to the end of grass. The outfield is around or right slightly. The left-hander Horner delivers, and Northrop cuts on a fastball and misses. Strike 1. 6-1, Detroit leads. It's the 9th inning. Kaline on third, Cash on second. Cash can get a big lead. The infield is up close. The windup by Horner, the pitch. Strike, fastball over. He took that one. Strike 2, the count on Northrup. Freehan is the next Detroit batter. Joe Horner, native of Dubuque, Iowa, ready to go to work. Northrop waiting on the strike 2 pitch. Here it is. He swings and misses. Struck him out. Fastball, letter high. 2 out now. Runners at second and third, and Freehan, looking for his first hit in the series, steps up. In this game, he's fanned twice, fly to right, and popped up to first base. Tigers 6, the Cardinals 1. They're going to put him on. First base is open. And Don Wirt is the next scheduled batter. So Freehan is drawing a pass, an intentional walk, loading the bases for Detroit. Ball 3, intentionally wide. We'll have 1 to go now to load the bases and bring the bat Don Wirt. Here's the 4th one, so there are 3 Tigers on with 2 out of the 9th inning. Tigers have 6 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. The Cardinals have 1 run, 5 hits, and they've made 1 error. Wirt has popped to second, walked twice, and taken a call third strike. Joe Horner, left-hander, on the mound for the Cardinals here in the 9th inning. Now the windup by Joe. The pitch is high for a ball. Ball 1 to Wirt. White Sox first signed Horner, and he was drafted by the Cardinals from Houston. He winds and delivers. Here's a foul ball out of play. 1-1. That's the count. No game in the World Series tomorrow, but action will be resumed on Saturday in Detroit's Tiger Stadium. Ray Washburn versus Earl Wilson in the 3rd game of the 1968 World Series. Now the windup and the 1-1 pitch. High and outside. 2-1, the count on Wirt. The Tigers have the bases loaded and 2 out of the 9th inning. They lead the Cardinals 6-1. Joe Horner checks his sign with McCarver. Works again. The pitch. Outside and high, 3-1, the count on Wirt. Lolich is the next Tiger batter, the pitcher. A time call by umpire Honachek for a moment. Wirt in the batter's box waiting on a 3-1 delivery. Ball 4 that will force in a run, give Wirt an RBI, and make the score 7-1 in favor of Detroit. The bases remain loaded. There are 2 out. So everybody moves up 1. Wirt to first. Freehan takes second base. On to third goes Cash. In to score comes Kaline. And here's a round of applause for Tiger pitcher Mickey Lolich. Not only pitched a fine game, but he has a home run and a single. Takes the ball outside. Horner has been high and away from these right-hand batters the last several pitches. 7-1, Detroit in the lead. Here's a pitch. High again, ball 2 to Lolich. And McCarver takes a trip to the mound. And here comes the pitching coach Muppet out to say something, maybe a little corrective measure, maybe just a little talk.
Well, that's about all they can do, Arnie. Of course, when you walk a man, you walk the 7th place hitter to get the 8th place hitter. Thinking that Freehan's a little bit better hitter than Don Wirt. Sometimes it backfires, and it just got through backfiring. But now then, it may backfire even a little bit more as he has 2 balls and no strikes on the pitcher, Mickey Lolich.
Well, the confab's over now. We're ready for action. The pitch, strike, got the inside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike on Lolich. Here's a windup by Horner. The pitch is cut on and missed. It's a 2-2 count now on Mickey Lolich.
Whatever the pitching coach, Billy Muffet, told him, he must have been right.
Now Lolich waits on that 2-2 delivery. Here it comes. High for a ball. 3-2. Lolich batting right-handed. 3 men on. Tigers lead 7-1 ninth inning. They're 2 out. Here's a pitch. Ball 4. He walked it. And another run is forced home. Lolich gets his second RBI of the afternoon. And the Tigers have an 8-1 lead over the world champion Cardinals. Again, everybody moves up one. Cash comes in to score. Moving to third, Freehand. To second goes Wirt. And Lolich is out at first base. McAuliffe will now become the 8th Tiger batter here in the 9th inning. Tigers lead by an 8-1 score. They have 8 runs on 13 hits. This inning, Kaline started with a single, Cash safe on an error, sacrifice. Then 3 straight walks have scored the runs. Watch out, in close, and McAuliffe hits the dirt. Well, the Tiger leadoff batter has 2 singles and a walk. He's bounced to Cepeda and bounced to Javier. Left-hander Joe Horner. On the mound now, ready to go to work again. He winds and pitches. Here's a foul ball hit over the Cardinal dugout in the seats. 1-1, that's the count. Briles started for St. Louis. Carlton relieved him in the 6th, Willis in the 7th, and Horner in the 9th. 4 runs off Briles, 2 off Carlton, none off Willis, and the others off Horner. Tigers have scored 2 runs off Joe here in the 9th inning on only 1 hit. Here's a fly ball to right field. Ron Davis is under it and makes the catch for the out. And the side retired.
Pee Wee Reese along with Ernie Harwell. We're going in the bottom half to 9th inning. What a difference a day makes. It's been Mickey Lolich and the Tigers all the day. Yesterday was Bob Gibson and the Cardinals. The score, 8-1. Home runs in the game. 1 in the 2nd by Harton, 1 in the 3rd by Lolich, 1 in the 6th by Cash. Starting off the bottom half to 9th for the Cardinals, Orlando Cepeda to tell you all about it, Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Pee Wee. Lolich going to work now on Cepeda, who drove in the only Cardinal run with a single in the 6th inning. He cuts and misses on a fastball. It was about knee-high toward the outside of the plate. Strike 1 on Cepeda. He's fouled to Kaline in right field, bounced to short and singled. The windup by Lolich, the pitch, swung on the bounding ball, deep short. Orla can't get it. It's past him into left field for a single. Cepeda makes a big turn and holds on. Orla breaking one way. Cepeda hit the ball to the opposite direction, and Orla couldn't retreat and get to the grounder. So Cepeda gets his 2nd hit. That is the 6th for the Cardinal. Here's Mike Shannon stepping in. Shannon has fly to right, bounced to 2nd, and grounded into a double play to shortstop. 8-1 the score. The Detroit Tigers leading in game number 2 of the World Series. The Cardinals won the opener behind Gibson yesterday, 4-0. Swing and a miss on sort of a change-up curveball from the left-hander Lolich. Outfield around to left on Shannon. Infield and double play depth. There's a cut and a tip foul to the middle Freehand. Strike 2 on Shannon. Lolich has gone all the way for Detroit. Red changing for the Cardinals has used Briles, Carlton, Willis, and Horner. Mickey picking up his sign, ready to work the strike 2 count. Here's a pitch. Foul ball out of play, back of the plate. 2 strikes, the count on Shannon. Yesterday, the great pitching of Gibson. Today, the power of the Tigers. Turning things around. Lolich pitched a fine game. He sets and delivers. It's a ball in close. One ball, 2 strikes. Ninth inning, Cepeda at first base for the Cardinals. And nobody out. Cash not holding on the bag with Cepeda. He's playing behind him. Here's the set now by Lolich. And the 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Swung on a curve and missed. That's the 9th strikeout for Lolich. Tim McCarver, the catcher, comes up now for the Cards. He tried to bunt his way on, and the second was thrown out by Freehand on a good play. He bounced to McCall the next 2 trips. Detroit leading 8-1. The Cardinals are batting in the 9th inning. They've got a man on and the man out. Outfield straight away on Tim McCarver. Leaning in, waiting. Now he swings as a line drive to left. Northrop comes in. His air gloves it. And holding it first is Cepeda. That's 2 down in the 9th inning. Ron Davis, the right-hand batting right fielder who struck out and flied out twice. He's hit the ball pretty well each time that he didn't strike out. Now he comes to bat with 2 down in the 9th inning. Man on first, Cepeda, 2 down in the 9th. The Cardinals at bat. Ron Davis at the plate against Mickey Lolich of Detroit. Curve across. Strike called. Lolich checks his sign. Here's the set position by the Tiger left-hander. There's a pop-up foul off of first base. Cash may have room near the seats. He's got it. The Tigers win. The final score at St. Louis this afternoon. Detroit 8, the St. Louis Cardinals 1. The Detroit Tigers have evened the 1968 World Series with an 8-1 victory here this afternoon at Busch Memorial Stadium. Mickey Lolich pitching a fine ball game, getting support from his power hitters, and the Tigers won it with 8 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. The St. Louis Cardinal totals 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error.
To the star for
now
the Tigers.
To Tony Kubek.
Thank you very much. We're down here talking to Mickey Lolich. Mickey, I don't know what to talk to you about. You're hitting or you're pitching?
Well, I'd like to talk about the pitching. I think that's more of a class I usually fall in.
We were just talking just a moment ago, and you did a great job, but I think, now correct me, I think I've seen you have better stuff.
You're right, Tony. In fact, I almost didn't pitch today's ball game. Overnight, last night, I developed an infection in my groin, and it sapped quite a bit of the energy out of me. And I was expected to pitch 5 or 6 innings, then somebody come in and take over for me. That is, if I started for a little while there. I wasn't even going to start today's ball game because I wasn't feeling strong at all.
Well, luckily for the Tigers and Mayo Smith, you came around. What about your hitting? Let's talk about the home run. I noticed when you got down to first base, you almost tripped over the bag. You didn't know which way to go. You didn't know what to do, did you?
No, I didn't. This is the first home run I have ever hit in my life in professional baseball, much less the major leagues. And when I hit the ball, I knew I hit the ball good, but I didn't know how high I hit it. And I was watching the left fielder go back, and just as I got to the base, I noticed he couldn't go any farther, and all of a sudden I heard the roar come up from the stands, and I'll admit I was looking at the ball, and I stepped right over the top of first base and had to come back and touch it.
Today, Mickey, of course, the Cardinals couldn't do much with you, but you sure must have some respect for them. Who impresses you? What about their strong points? What about the next time you face them?
Well, I'll have to go along with Lou Brock and his base stealing. I thought I had him picked off that last time, and he sort of outran the ball to second base, so I'm quite impressed with his speed. And I'm also very impressed with Tim McCarver against left-handed pitching. Generally, you find a left-hander has a tendency to give a little bit on me because I do drop down, but he was in there swinging the bat real good, and I was quite impressed with him. And also Orlando Cepeda. I threw a lot of good sinking fastballs, which a lot of guys will swing over the top of, but he hit them right on the button, and he got a couple base hits out of it and hit the ball real hard all day.
Mickey Lolich, congratulations again, both hitting and pitching. Nice seeing you.
Okay, Tony, thank you.
I'm going to talk to your shortstop now. Thank you so much, Mickey. Mickey Stanley, come on in here. Mick, I don't know, they've been saying, watch out for Stanley. He hasn't played shortstop before. You started a key double play in the 6th inning. You look like you're right at home.
Tony, thank you very much. I think yesterday getting the first ground ball of the game helped relax me a lot. And as soon as I caught that and threw the runner out, I seemed to settle down a little bit.
Mick, you know, I was kind of in the same kind of situation with Casey Stengel moving at different positions, but I had experience at short, and I knew the first series game I played in 57. I was nervous as could be and a lot of pressure, and I felt before yesterday's ball game, you must have been under more pressure. I know you were than anybody else in the ballpark.
Well, I was, no doubt about it, I was nervous, Tony, and getting a base hit the first time up in the first inning relieved a little pressure. Then, like I say, getting that first ground ball and getting that out of the way relieved a lot of pressure. I didn't want to wait 4 or 5 innings before I got one. Then with runners on and take a chance of throwing one away. So I was glad to get it over with.
Mick, what about the Cardinals? What about Brock in particular? He gets on first base and it rattles a pitcher, but it also rattles an infielder, doesn't it?
It sure does. The fielder covering... I know myself, when he was on first base, I was watching him more than I was the hitter. I was paying more attention whether or not I should be covering the base or fielding the ground ball.
I know I shouldn't be talking about yesterday, but I will just briefly. What about Bob Gibson? Have you ever seen anybody like Bob?
No, Tony, I think he's the toughest pitcher I've ever faced. I'd hate to make it a steady diet facing him.
He's tough. What about today? Nelson Browse has been a top winner for them. He was a little shaky today, but he's a pretty good pitcher, too.
He certainly is. I know I never got one fastball down the middle all day long. He hit that outside corner, and he got his breaking ball over pretty well, too.
Let's talk about the Tigers' plans, rather, for the third game, the opening game in Tigers Stadium. Who's manager Mayo Smith going to go with, or has he announced it yet?
Earl Wilson's going to be the pitcher, for sure.
And he, of course, does what, and what can we look for off Earl?
Well, Earl's a control pitcher, just like Mickey Loach. He's got a pretty good fastball and keeps the ball down. He gets his breaking ball over at all times, and Earl helps himself with the bat too. You can count on him having some rips up there tomorrow night.
Talking about the bat, Mickey, I think I was talking to Wally Moses before the ball game. I've never seen a change in a hitter as compared to you last year as compared to this year. You've just changed completely. You're hitting the ball so well.
Thank you, Tony. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of depressing moments, but I think the big thing that helped me is Wally got me to shorten up my swing, short, quick stroke instead of a long, slow stroke.
Mickey Stanley, heck of a job at shortstop and center field at the end of the ballgame. We'll see you in Detroit.
Thank you, Tony.
Now let's go on back upstairs.
We'll have more from Busch Stadium, but first this message. Well, Mr. Reese, it's all even now.
Yes, sir, and I would say that Lowell's pitched quite a ball game. That when he was talking to Tony Kubek down on the field and we were listening to him, was surprised that Lowell almost didn't start this ball game. He thought that he may go just 5 innings and then have someone to pick him up, but I guess he looked pretty good. He had a little trouble in the first inning, little trouble in the 6th inning. Outside of that, I would say he pitched a whale of a ball game, and the Tigers are definitely right back in this series.
And the Tigers got out in front with home runs from Horton, Lolich, and Cash. Then they got 3 runs in the 6th inning, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 9th. The Cardinals scored in the 6th on a walk to Brock and a single by Flood and a single by Cepeda. That's all they could do with Mickey Lolich. Lolich all the way to win it. Browse, a starter and loser. Carlton, Willis, and Horner followed him on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals.